everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be using acrylic in my daily painting that I'm doing for 30 days. These are from Royal Talens and they are 5 primary colors, so you can go ahead and mix them to create a ton of colors. Today I'm pretty much sticking to these colors. I will be lightening the blue with the white, as you will see, and I will also be blending a little bit of yellow in with that red. But for the most part, I'm pretty much just sticking to these colors. I am a novice, so I try to keep it pretty basic as I experiment. I do have day 2 and 3 done in this journal as well, and I'm not sharing it because it is with the watercolor paints, which are fabulous. However, I am still experimenting with those. I'm learning a lot, and I just don't feel like I have anything that would bring any value to you if I were to share those videos. As I experiment more and learn, I will definitely share with you what I come up with. As far as this goes, though, in the meantime, I had in mind to create a flower off the side of the page. I wanted it to be whimsical and bright and beautiful, and that's just what I got. I've never freehanded a flower like this before, so it was really a lot of fun. I'm just starting by mixing up some of that white with that blue because it's really a vibrant blue, and I wanted it to be a bit more muted. Now, I left a part of the area that I knew I was going to put that flower in blank. However, I know after watching Dina Wakley that you don't have to worry about erasing lines or covering anything. All you do is you just keep painting over it and it'll eventually blend in, and you'll see how that happens here. When I put that first layer on, it's a little bit alarming, but because it's like, ooh, that's not going to work. But as I just keep working it, I kind of just ignore that blue that's on the background on it. It just turns out just beautiful. So I am mixing in white around this as I go with that blue. And then I just leave that section white over on the side. I am using my rinse well, which I love. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check it out. It is so cool. It makes painting so much easier. I love it. So I just painted on this flower, and so I'm doing like petals. And as you can tell, that yellow is creating almost like a blue undertone, a green with that blue, right? And that's just because my yellow is lighter than the blue. But as I work with this some more, it ends up being really cool. So I am just going through with a semi-fine tip brush and painting that base down first. Off screen, I do dry it between colors so that I know that it won't blend if I don't want it to. And you can definitely see where the blue ended and the white began on this. But as I work with it some more, you're going to tell that you can't even tell. So right now I'm going to add in some of that red. And again, I'm a novice, so I want to keep it simplistic. I wanted it to be bright and colorful and whimsical, which is just perfect, I think, for being a novice. And I am adding in the leaf, or I should say the petals individually, even though at the end I'm not going to be highlighting that. I am just painting them in right now to help me kind of know where I want to add the shading, where I want to add more color, and so on and so forth. So if you are interested in what I'm using, or if you want to get started on a journey like this in which you paint every day for 30 days, I do have listed down below in my description box this paint as well as a journal that would be great for this, and other products that I will be using over the course of the other videos I put out with this. I won't be sharing all my 30 days because they're not all that great, and some of them I'm just doing it to experiment with, and I just don't feel like I have anything really of value to share on those days with you. But when I do think that something turned out well and I learned something, I definitely am going to share them like I did today. And the thing that I learned today was that you can just, when you have a background like that where it's blue and then white and you're working with a lighter color on top of it, just to completely ignore that background and just keep working and painting over it, and then eventually eventually it just totally blends in. So don't let your background scare you if you think that it's too dark for what you're working on. If you just keep working on it and painting as you want to paint, it eventually blends in and you will get a beautiful, beautiful finished piece. If you guys have any questions as I'm doing this painting, please go ahead and leave them down below. I'll do my very best to answer them for you. Something I need to mention about the links down below, they are affiliated. So what that means is I make a small commission off of anything that's purchased through them. And sometimes you guys will get a discount when you use them as a thank you from me or the company. What I do in return is I actually go back and fund my channel with those. YouTube does not charge me or you to watch their videos, which is awesome, but it does allow me to get paid for my time, because it does take me about 3 to 5 hours to do a video. And so I just get paid for my time when you guys use the affiliated link, as well as any ad revenue I get off of YouTube. So if you guys want to help out your favorite content creators, go ahead and always watch those advertisements, because it does help. Sometimes what I do, you guys, is I'll go to the bathroom during the advertisements and do something else. And then when I hear that they're off, I'll go back to my video. That's just kind of how I play it. But anyway, that always helps us out. And then I also, of course, use that money in turn to buy more products so I can show you guys some more stuff. Which leads me to the point, if you ever have any ideas or you want to see something, please let me know in the comments. You can always email me at betsgolden.com. And I would love to hear your suggestions. So my email is bets@betsgolden.com. And you can always email me with any questions that you have or anything you want to see. I would love to try to help you out if I can find it and if I can do it. So what I did was I just went around and I added some more color on that, kind of darkened up the edges, gave it a little bit more definition. And then I love to add white for highlight and black just as a place for the eye to rest whenever I'm doing my paintings. The white for highlight just really adds a layer of depth to projects, and it's a really nice highlighter. And that's what I'm doing right there. I'm going in with a really a fine paintbrush, a fine tip paintbrush, and just adding all of that in just to give it a little bit of definition. Right there, it's a little bit dark, so I will try to go back and lighten it up a little bit. But since this is freehand and I'm not a professional painter or anything, I was pretty happy with how it all turned out. So it's best, if you want to have a lighter highlight, to use almost like a dry brush where you don't have much paint on it, and then you go through and add that paint. So as you can tell right there, when I went back to that one section to remove some of that white, it started to dry. So it literally picked that paint right up. And so to help kind of mask that, I am going to go over all of it with some more yellow, and that just really softens everything and pulls in that base color that I originally wanted. Now, I did drop a little bit of water on my journaling page, as you can tell. And so I'm going to do something at the end to kind of mask that. And I ended up really liking it. One thing that I've discovered about my art is it is full of a bunch of oopses. I'm not even kidding you, you guys. I like to say all my art is pretty much made up of a bunch of mistakes that I tried to camouflage. And that's just part of the process for me. And I really enjoy it. I don't get scared when things get messed up anymore. I just kind of go with it. So now I'm going in with a fine tip brush, the smallest one I have, and I'm just giving some definition to those petals. And you're going to see I'm not going to do all the petals completely. I'm going to do about 3/4 of them because I want them to look like they're kind of behind other petals. and so on and so forth. So I don't need to obviously use my black to outline each petal like I painted them on. And then towards the end of it, I'm going to notice that if I actually go in with my paintbrush and just do one long stroke, I'll get a smoother line. But it takes me until the end to figure that out. But that's why I'm doing this 30-day challenge, is to learn. So I highly recommend right there. That's where I figure out, like, oh, look at that. If I go in with just one long swoop, even pressure, I get a good line. So I encourage you guys, if you want to paint, don't be intimidated by it. Go in and just paint to your heart content. Don't think about the end process. Concentrate on the journey. Keep it in a journal like I'm doing, so that at the end you can look back and see what you learned and how far you've come. And you may decide at the end you don't want to do it, but at least you would have tried, and you will know that you are into it or not into it. So I am going to finish up this flower by doing a black outline on the center. And then I'm going to work on the background, because like I had said, I have to camouflage that water that I dropped over there. I'm looking at it, but I'm in the middle of this and I'm like, I'll catch that later. If you guys enjoy videos like this or card making, I do a lot of card making, any kind of paper crafting, unboxings, different products, how to do things, and you want a boost of your self-confidence, because I am by no means claiming to be an expert on anything. I'm just a crafter like everybody else, and I don't have all the answers. But if I can do it, you can do it. So if you like to see that, if you like to see art done, I'm not going to mask mistakes for you. I'm not going to make it seem like it's super easy if it's not. If you want to see art like that, then please subscribe to my channel, because that's what you're going to get if you enjoy seeing just a normal person create art, and you walk away feeling like, man, if she can do it, I can do it, then I'm your girl. If you want to see like the perfectly edited video where there's no mistakes and I just walk you through the process, then I'm probably not someone you want to follow, because you're not going to get that from me. I'm going to keep it pretty real, pretty raw, but I promise, if I can create art like this, beautiful art, I know that you can create it too. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and just give it a thumbs up. That helps the algorithm, and it helps me also. I would appreciate that. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them down below. Again, I do have the supplies that I'm using for this listed as well, so make sure that you check those out. That's all in the description box, and this is coming to an end. So I hope you join me again for more fun in my art journal, or more card making, or paper crafting in general, just playing around with art stuff in my downtime. Until next time, I am Bets Golden. Happy crafting.